We welcome you back to the Poker Dome. This is the MansionPoker.com Poker Dome Challenge. It's audience participation poker. And right now, our audience watching 6 players who've been very competitive thus far. Robert Mayo is our chip leader at 71,000. He's been the chip leader for a long time. Zach Williamson, the only other guy on the upside, at 57,000. Roy Obrecht over in seat 6 is a guy who has just won his first hand. He's played very patiently. He's a project manager from Lisle, Illinois, and he says even though he's the most experienced player at the table, he's not overconfident.
Although I may have more experience than some players, when it's their first bigger tournament, they get a heightened sense of awareness. They're very alert and very attuned and play their best poker they ever play. So I don't take anyone like that. I told my wife and 3 sons that if I did well and won this and came back for round 2, I'd bring the whole family out next time for a family vacation.
I think Obrecht makes a great point that the good players deal with the extra pressure and the heightened stakes by bringing their game up. And we've seen at the Dome some players who you wouldn't figure to be the best player really exhibit great poker skills. I got to tell you, though, Obrecht is by far the most experienced player here, and I expect as the blinds go up a little bit, you're going to see a different player.
I think so, too, and poker in this game in particular is a case of what goes around comes around, and it has not yet come around to Obrecht. I think he's been very patient. He's not had a lot of playable hands, hasn't done anything wrong, and he's not in any kind of bad position at 41,000 chips. Now we got 2 hands here that are pretty good. Deuce, 7, 8.
And if Mayo checks here, Munchauer. 7,000. See, and Mayo made a great defensive bet there, Barry, by leading at this pot, even though he completely missed. He puts the onus on Munchauer and doesn't give him a chance to steal the pot. Nice play there by Mayo.
Munchauer throws away the best hand. As we've said, the play has been pretty conservative so far. Nobody has really been wanting to challenge the other player. Well, are you ready to be part of the most exhilarating and breathtaking poker series ever? Every week, 6 lucky players are flown out here to Las Vegas to compete inside the Poker Dome. We'd love to welcome you to the game. So log on to MansionPoker.com and you can earn a shot at $1 million, just like Andrew Rogers and just like Kozan, just like 4 other players.
I think the lights and the cameras and the amount of money they're playing for occasionally tends to put a bit of a muffler on that hot running engine.
I absolutely agree with you. And the play has, as we've emphasized, been rather conservative so far.
Out of the blind, sir. That's the way I like it. Pot?
6,000.
This bets the pot, and that should do it.
What'd you do that for? Sorry. Not very generous.
What'd you do that for? Throws the hand away. Mike English, a 25-year-old who comes to us from Ontario, Canada. He's been playing poker for a few years. You mentioned earlier, Mike, that he is a firefighter, and he says that career puts him in some very dangerous situations.
I'm a forest firefighter. Summertime, it's pretty crazy, hot, smoky. There was this one time where we had a man that crashed his plane. We had to go rescue the man, and then we extinguished the fire afterwards. I'm used to high-pressure situations. Well, the Poker Dome will be very tough with the other competitors, but I'm hoping I catch fire.
Nobody really has so far. In fact, it's just been kind of tepid as opposed to any fire.
I'll tell you what, though, when you spend your working days putting out infernos, this should be a piece of cake.
No,
here.
absolutely, absolutely.
Williamson and English have the same hand, ace-4 suited. Which actually, yeah, that queen-jack of Obrecht actually goes up in value because English and Williamson are duplicated. So,
well, this should be a contest anyway, I would think.
Call.
English will call.
Wow. Got a big party going on here.
And Munchauer is not part of it, but he's going to join the fray.
Great odds, only has to put in one extra chip.
There's a pair for Obrecht. And there is a pair of aces for Williamson and English.
English has a big advantage
Not gonna get
of
you better.
Williamson in this hand, although they have
I
the
just called for
identical
pot.
holding.
Pre-flop.
And that's
Check.
because
Back.
he has position on Williamson, who I expect to bet. There he goes.
Now Obrecht with a pair of queens.
Simple as this. If he gives Williamson credit for an ace, he's got to fold.
Call.
Obviously he doesn't, yeah.
This is a good spot for English to put in a raise and to find the hand. Needs to know where he's at. But I'll tell you, it's tough. You have a better and a caller in front of you, and you only have a 4 kicker. You're thinking that your ace is no good. You probably think you're in second place, maybe even third place.
So now it's down to Obrecht and Williamson. 6 on the turn.
And that really changes nothing. Williamson, if he bets again, Obrecht could get in trouble here.
3,000.
And he will, and it's a conservative 3,000.
That's a tiny bet given the size of the pot. Can't see any way that Obrecht folds here. Not for that price. And even if he thinks this guy does have an ace, he's getting a great price to try to hit another queen or a jack.
That's what he's looking for, and he doesn't get it.
Check.
Williamson checks. Now can Obrecht steal it?
I don't think it's possible unless he made a huge move. And I actually liked Williamson's check there on the end. He figures to only get called by a hand that beats him. And that showdown earns Williamson a healthy pot.
And it was our first showdown of the night. Take a look at the chip count where we stand right now. Robert Mayo's been the chip leader virtually from the get-go. Zach Williamson, though, creeping into it at 71,000. Mike English at 42. Roy Obrecht, most experienced player at the table, is short stack now at 33,000. Brian Munchauer told us, I'm an aggressive player. Well, I guess aggression, Michael, so far is a relative term.
He actually said he's ultra aggressive, and there you see, Barry, Munchauer has been the most active pre-flop, but it has not paid dividends. He is lurking near the bottom.